There's nowhere at all I'd rather be today than here at Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. We have an incredibly competitive field this year, which means we should be in for a treat. And judging by the sea of people filling the grandstands, there's a fair-sized chunk of Germany that agrees with me. With average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour, the Hockenheim ring is a quick circuit with a lap distance of 2.8 miles, around 17 corners. The main DRS zone through Parabolica leads into the hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity on the track. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Coronen. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
That's right, it is a difficult environment to come into. In junior categories, you're competing against drivers with similar levels of experience. But some of these guys in Formula 1 have been there for over a decade. But I have to say, in this case, it's so far so good.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Coronen lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Alonso and Romain Grosjean, Leclerc, Perez, Carlos Sainz and Ocon, Bottas. They've taken a grid penalty. Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Stoffel van Dorn. Hartley and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching. Nice start. shows the tyres are okay right now. We anticipate good levels of grip for the next few laps at least. Degradation is pretty bad, the grip is going to fall away quickly. The brakes and tyres are starting to overheat. You need to ease off in the corners. First position, front of the pack. Vettel is behind you. The gap to the car behind is 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Just 3 laps to go now. 3 laps. We're leading our teammate by 10.0 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. The time last lap was a 1 minute 21.3. Is 10.0 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. The time last lap was a 1:21.3. You're leading the pack, P1. Hamilton is behind you. The gap behind us is 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Position, front of the pack, Vettel behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.4 seconds. They're on fresh Ultra Softs. This is your final lap of the race. Monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power. Fantastic! You've won the Grand Prix.
It's a well-deserved victory for Williams then after that breathtaking Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
And I can see our drivers making their way out now. It's been a sublime team performance, and it's the culmination of a lot of hard work. Williams are your winners today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Coronen increases their championship lead. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Oh, well, I'm a bit spoilt for choice, Crofty. My instinct says Valtteri Bottas, and looking down the field, no one really jumps out at me to make me change my mind.
And now let's take a look at the Constructors' standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Sauber, whose good result moves them further up the championship. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. It doesn't get much better than a win at this track, does it? You must be thrilled to be up on the podium. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. You had a close battle today, didn't you? Appreciate your time.